There was a time when my name was spoken with honor at the gates of the city. I was known as a righteous man, a father, a servant of God. My fields stretched beyond the horizon, my flocks covered the hills, and laughter filled my home. I believed obedience built a wall no storm could cross. Every morning before sunrise, I offered sacrifices for my children. Not because they were wicked, but because I feared even the possibility of hidden sin. I prayed for them in whispers. I trusted God completely. I never imagined how fragile comfort truly was. Then one day the silence broke. A messenger came running, dust rising behind him. Raiders had stolen my oxen. Servants were killed. Before I could respond, another arrived. Fire had fallen from heaven and consumed the sheep. Another messenger followed. My camels were taken. More servants dead. Each sentence struck like thunder against my chest. I felt the ground beneath me shift. But the worst news had not yet been spoken. The final messenger staggered forward, barely able to stand. A great wind had struck the house where my sons and daughters were gathered. The walls collapsed. The roof gave way. None survived. In a single day, everything I loved was gone. I tore my robe, I shaved my head. I fell to the ground, not in strength but in devastation. And from somewhere beyond my grief, words escaped my lips. Naked I came, naked I will depart. The Lord gave, the Lord has taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Those words were not calm. They were trembling defiance against despair. I did not understand. I did not see purpose. But I refused to curse the one I had trusted all my life. As if loss were not enough, my body began to fail. Painful sores covered me from head to toe. I sat among ashes outside the city, scraping my wounds with broken pottery, searching for relief that never came. The man once respected now avoided his own reflection. My skin burned, my strength faded, even breathing felt heavy. And still, heaven was silent. My wife stood before me, her eyes hollow with grief. She whispered, "Curse God and die." I saw exhaustion in her voice. For a moment, surrender felt easier than endurance. But I answered through cracked lips, "Shall we accept good from God and not trouble?" Faith was no longer comfort. It was survival. It was the last flame flickering in darkness. My friends came and sat with me for 7 days in silence. At first, their presence comforted me, but silence soon turned into accusation. They reasoned that suffering must be punishment, that hidden sin must explain my ruin. Their words cut deeper than disease. To lose everything is devastating. To be blamed is unbearable. I searched my heart again and again. I found no rebellion worthy of this weight. And so I cried out to God, not in hatred, but in confusion. There were nights I wished I had never been born. Days when the sun felt like mockery. I shouted into heaven and heard only echo. And yet something inside me refused to die. A fragile conviction, a whisper beneath the pain, and I declared, "I know that my Redeemer lives." I did not speak those words because I felt victory. I spoke them because faith is sometimes a decision, not a feeling. Then the storm answered, not with explanations, but with presence. The voice of God thundered from the whirlwind. "Where were you when I laid the foundations of the earth?" Question after question revealed the vastness of creation before my small understanding. I realized my suffering had not reduced his sovereignty. My pain had not dethroned his wisdom. I did not need full answers. I needed perspective. My heart bowed. I had heard of him before, but now through ashes and loss I truly saw him. In time, restoration came. My herds multiplied. My home was rebuilt. Children's laughter returned where silence once ruled. But the greatest miracle was not prosperity restored. It was intimacy gained. My faith was no longer rooted in blessings. The ashes became an altar. The suffering became sight. I learned that God's presence is greater than his gifts. If you are sitting in your own ashes today, remember this. Your story is not finished. The same God who allows the storm sustains you within it. If this journey of faith touched your heart, join us. Subscribe to the channel, leave your like, and explore the Bibles in the description. Sometimes one verse is enough to keep a soul from breaking.